What is going on, my LLs, my Lubari listeners, my fellow real estate enthusiasts and fellow real estate investors? Welcome back to another episode of the Lubari Real Estate Podcast. Today, we're talking about something every real estate investor faces, but few talk about, honestly. Deals that fall apart, financing that disappears, partners that back out, market shifts that happen overnight. The title of this episode is The Resilience Advantage and How Setbacks Build Unfair Leverage. Because honestly, if you stay in this business long enough, setbacks are guaranteed. The question isn't if you'll face adversity. The question is, will it shrink you or will it sharpen you? Because the truth is, the investors who last aren't the ones who avoid setbacks. They're the ones who turn them into leverage. All right, so let's break it down. All right, let's talk about the myth of the smooth path. It's all smoke and mirrors. All right, so social media shows smooth closings, but what it doesn't show is the 12 deals that didn't make it through the funnel, the retrades that failed, the lender who pulled out 2 weeks before close, or the capital raise that stalled. And early investors think, if I were better, this wouldn't happen. Wrong, wrong, and wrong. Because setbacks are not proof you're failing. They're proof that you're operating. And if you're making offers, you're raising capital, negotiating debt, you will encounter friction. But just because you encounter friction doesn't make it failure. Because friction is actually tuition. And the investors who treat setbacks as data and not drama accelerate faster than everyone else. Because, emotional regulation is a competitive advantage. So let's talk about something real here. Emotional control. Because when a deal dies, your ego gets hit. It may shake your confidence, and it may make you question yourself. But here's the separator. Professionals regulate. Amateurs react. If you panic, you burn broker relationships. You overcorrect and chase risky deals. And you rush into bad partnerships. But if you regulate, you analyze what happened, you preserve those relationships, and you extract lessons. Because resilience is not pretending it doesn't hurt. It's choosing not to spiral. And the investor who stays calm during turbulence becomes one everyone trusts during turbulence. And that trust, like everything else, compounds. All right. Now, when it comes to loss, you gotta post-mortem every loss. All right. So here's where resilience really becomes your leverage. After every failed deal, just ask 3 structured questions. Number 1, what was outside my control? Whether that be interest rate spikes, unrealistic seller, or, a gap in appraisal. But you need to acknowledge reality. Number 2, what was inside my control? Did I underwrite too optimistically? Was my capital raised strategically weak? Did I build enough lender options? Because when you ask yourself questions like this question right here shows that ownership builds power. You got to own your own mistakes. And then finally, number 3, what system do I upgrade now? Maybe you build stronger lender relationships, or increase your reserves, or strengthen investor communication, or even improve underwriting buffers. But every failed deal should upgrade your infrastructure. And if you lose a deal and nothing changes, that's a waste. But if you lose a deal and improve your systems, now that is creating leverage. All right? Because honestly, market downturns create a little bit of asymmetry. Okay? So let's zoom out, right? Zoom out, use your two fingers. Resilience matters most during market corrections. When the rates rise, when sellers resist reality, when buyers disappear, weak operators retreat. Strong operators prepare. And in downturns, there's clear competition, right? Reset the pricing, you expose poor underwriting, and you create motivated sellers. And if you've built resilience during smaller setbacks, you won't freeze during bigger ones. And when others hesitate, guess what? That's when your time to move. That's when it's your time to move. Because there's a couple things in real estate I want to share with you guys. If you don't already know, all right? Number one is buy even when there's blood in the streets. Number two is when everyone is scared, you should be buying. And when everyone is buying, that's when you should be scared. Okay? So going back to anyway, that's going to create unfair leverage for you because opportunities shift towards those who remain stable. All right? And also keep in mind that sometimes rejection is relationship building. All right? So let's talk about rejection from brokers and lenders. Let's say you submit an offer and you lose. Most investors disappear. A resilient investor will do this instead. You call out the broker and say, hey, I appreciate the opportunity. What can I do to improve? And that question does two things. One, it builds rapport. And two, it gathers intelligence. Because brokers remember professionalism. Lenders remember composure. Investors remember transparency. And that resilience will strengthen your reputation. And reputation drives your deal flow. If they know you as a closer, they're going to send you more deals. If they know that you're conservative, they're not going to send you the crazy stuff. They're going to send you stuff that's more aligned with your buy box. Okay? And it's all a part of the game. It's all a part of the game. And just because you lose one deal is not the end of the world. But that's where you have to build resilience. Okay? So let's talk about building the resilience framework. So let's make it practical. Here's how you develop the resilience advantage. Number one, you increase financial cushion. More reserves equals less emotional pressure because the scarcity creates panic. And remember, just in the last episode last week, margin creates patience. It gives you breathing room. Number two, diversify capital relationships. Never rely on one single lender. Never rely on one capital source. Your options reduce your vulnerability. Number three, normalize rejection. It's okay. You get rejected all the time. It doesn't mean the end of the world. So what you do is you set a goal. Let's say you submit 10 offers knowing most won't win, right? But volume builds immunity. It's just like being a guy and trying to date. You're going to get rejected 80 to 90% of the time. Number 4, strengthen your physical discipline. Stress resilience is physical just as much as it is mental. So that's why you need to take care of yourself. You train, you sleep, and you eat intentionally, because your nervous system determines your leadership capacity. And number 5, debrief every setback within 48 hours. Document the lessons while they're fresh, okay? And then you turn your pain into protocol. And that is how you're going to get the long-term edge, because most people, they just quit right before their edge compounds. But the investor who survives one bad deal, one rate spike, one failed raise, becomes sharper than the investor who never faced any stress at all. And why is this? It's because stress reveals your weak points. And once you correct your weaknesses, you're stronger than before. Your setbacks are going to refine your judgment. They're going to refine your patience and refine your discipline. And resilience compresses your learning cycles. All right, so let me leave you with this. Your current frustration might be your future advantage. So the deal that you lost may have saved you from a hidden risk. The lender who said no forced you to diversify and go find more lending options. The capital raise that struggled forced you to improve your communication and your networking skills. And nothing is ever wasted if it upgrades you. So remember this: the market doesn't reward comfort. It rewards durability. The investor who can take a hit to the chin, and stay composed, and adjust intelligently and keep moving, becomes inevitable. It's going to happen. So if this blah, 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 words. Here we go. If this episode resonated with you, I want you to reflect on one recent setback that you've had. Okay? Don't replay the emotion. Think about it calmly and extract the leverage, extract the lessons that you learned, and ask yourself, what did this teach me that success never would have taught me? Because your resilience today is positioning you for opportunities others won't have access to tomorrow. Let me say that again. Your resilience today is positioning you for opportunities that others won't have access to tomorrow. And with that being said, thank you for listening. Stay steady, stay disciplined, and always remember, adversity isn't an obstacle. It's preparation and it's training. I'll see you guys next Tuesday. I love you all, and be blessed.